What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new review. Camera's a little lopsided. All right, you guys. So we are here for a brand new season of Power Book 4, you guys. I believe this is for season 2, episode 1. Episode is titled "Tommy's Back," you guys. So before we go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning your post notifications on, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it. Power Book 4, Force, shall we? All right, you guys, so Force is back for season 2. So the videos will be coming out on Sundays like normal, although I know that the episodes air on Friday, so we'll still do them on Sundays. It's going to be the same for this, like we did for P-Valley last season, like we did for Ghost last season. And also, you guys, if you guys aren't aware, so the lineup is going to go that this is airing now, right? And then on December, I'm not talking to you. On December 1st, we have season 3 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. And then March, I believe, sometime in March, we'll have season 3, I think, or season 3 of BMF. Now, you guys know I've never reviewed BMF. I've actually never even watched BMF, to be quite honest with you guys. But if you guys watch BMF, let me know. I know there is a subscriber and a content creator that I know who watches BMF, Shayna. You guys go check her out if you guys watch BMF. Like I said, for me, I don't necessarily know if it'll be something that I review, but we'll definitely think about it. But yeah, this is Power Book 4, Force. All right, you guys. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to start up with this episode, because there was a lot of intricate pieces in this episode. I think the easiest place for me to start up at and then work my way around is going to be this situation with the feds, right? You guys remember in last season, the feds were trying to figure out who Tommy was. You know, Tommy is the new guy in town. They really don't know anything about him, but they're trying to figure out who he is, right? So I didn't realize it until I saw it on Twitter and somebody had posted that the woman who is, leading the organization actually happens to be the woman that plays Dre on The Shy, you guys. Now I will say, in that scene with that wig on, that is the worst wig outside of Tyler Perry's that I've ever saw, right? So the feds, they still have no idea who Tommy is, and they're trying to figure out who he is, but they don't really have a lot of stuff to go on when it comes to Tommy. So they do know, and they also know what's going on with the CBI, how there's an internal fight between Jannard and between Diamond, right? Then they're talking about how with the Flynn's, how they've dug in, and the fact that Claudia and Victor both have never been back to the family house, right? And we all know why. Remember last season, if you guys forgot, last season, Victor fell out with his dad because of the stuff that happened with him and Gloria, right? Remember when him and Gloria were getting ready to leave and they pulled up on him and Gloria and blasted the car, right? And Gloria got hit. So that's that. I can't even remember what happened with Claudia. I don't remember what happened with Claudia last season. I just remember what happened with Victor and with Walter. I don't remember specific. Actually, yes, I do remember. With Claudia, is the fact that Walter just doesn't see her as he doesn't see her as an equal or anything because she's a girl. She's a woman. So the feds, they're trying to figure out who Tommy is. So their plan is to get his fingerprints. So the woman who's over, she's like, I want to see how y'all gonna do that, right? So we do see at one scene in this episode where Tommy and JP went to a bar, right? So while Tommy and JP were inside of the bar, the FBI, they were outside dusting his car for fingerprints, right? So they got his fingerprints. So they ran his fingerprints and they found out his name is Tommy Egan. They found out how how he was in New York, how they were trying to build a case against him and Ghost, but they never had anything. And so, they were in a high-speed chase with him and his body, remember. And then, see, that's the thing that's kind of confusing to me as well, right? Remember, if you guys go back to season 3 of Ghost, and the fact that Tommy showed up in the season in the final few episodes, but he was supposed to be in Chicago at that point, right? And he was also deceased. So they know that Tommy's supposed to be deceased, but hey, they say he looks good for someone who is deceased, right? So their plan is to go after Tommy, right? Because they know that Tommy is linked to CBI. He's linked to the Connects. He's linked to pretty much everybody, right? I can't say one person's name because he's a new person that we just met in this episode, but I'll talk about that person once we get to Tommy's scenes, right? But let's pause here and let's move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Victor, the Flynns. Let's talk about the Flynns real quick. So the Flynn family, you guys, like I told you a few minutes ago, you guys remember season 1 ending. Victor was pissed off with Da, right? So Victor is drowning his sorrows, right? So Walter called him, and Victor's like, he's gonna pay. And so Claudia, we see the next scene, Claudia comes down and she's like, have you ordered something? He said, like, oh yeah, I just ordered something. He said, I ordered for Walter to come over. So we see Walter, he comes in, and he's talking about the fact that, oh, so you two are hiding out, right? But y'all didn't invite your father over. And Claudia was like, sir, you got more targets on your back than we do. So Walter's telling them, like, I got it all covered, I got it handled. And they were like, really? How? So he tells them that he got Dublin taken care of, right? So you guys remember in the season finale that people from the old country came over to help them in the war with Tommy, right? You guys remember Tommy they just took all of them out, right? So the guy that helped him with the men, he was like, okay, so all of my men from the old country are now in body bags, right? They 6 feet under, they swimming with the fishes, right? So what's gonna happen with that, right? So Victor wanted to say, not Victor, but Walter wanted to say, oh, it's just a casualty of war. That man said, a casualty of war, my ass. Like, I need some kind of money for that, right? I need something for that. So the man took a piece of paper, wrote it down, a figure, and slid it over to Victor and said, not Victor, but to Walter, and said, you got to Friday to give me my motherfucking money, bruh. So he's telling Claudia and Victor he got it figured out. I was like, do you really? Because I don't think he got it figured out. Because that man gave you until Friday to give him whatever the price of them men's bodies were. And I don't think it was no measly 10,000, 15,000. I don't even think it was 100,000. I think it's probably millions of dollars, right? So Claudia is worried about the fact that once Tommy finds out that it was she who, unlived Liliana, that Tommy's gonna come for her, right? So, Victor, why do I keep wanting to say Victor? Walter is saying that, don't worry about Tommy. He got a plan. It's gonna take him a while to take Tommy down, but he's gonna take Tommy down because even the guy from the old country asking the same question, like, what about Tommy Egan? Fuck Tommy Egan. So he's basically like saying fuck Tommy because he gonna take Tommy out, like, right? I got a plan, but it's gonna take a little time to finagle this plan together that I got to just take out Tommy. I was like, Walter, I don't necessarily think you're gonna take Tommy out the way that you think he is. Tommy is, it's really interesting to watch this show, right, without Ghost, because for years I always felt like Ghost was he was the brains behind the operation. Tommy is a hothead, but we saw Tommy kind of cool down a little bit. I mean, he still is, robbed by them emotions, for damn sure, right? So Walter eventually left, right? He told them, you two need to answer the phone when I call you, right? Because he wants them to be a united front. I was like, a united front? Your kids were working against you last season, especially Victor. Victor was working with Tommy up to a point last season. Like, So, okay. So after Victor, not Victor, but after Walter left, Claudia decided that she told Victor like we should go into business with each other, right? She wants to get Dahlia back on the streets and they can be partners with each other and they can protect each other and they'll be 50-50. So we see Claudia. So Claudia went to go see the doc and I was like, wait a minute, you still got this woman held in captivity? Girl, I would have done. Claudia, Claudia would not have had me. I'm sorry. I would have got the jump on that hoe. So the doc is like, okay, Claudia, how about I do this? How about I give you the chemical compound breakdown of Dahlia so that way you can produce it yourself? Claudia says, no, ma'am, you're gonna do it for me. So we do see later in the episode where Tommy and Diamond did find out that Claudia has Dahlia back on the market, right? So Victor called Claudia because unfortunately, with Dahlia being back on the market, someone released the chemical compound for mixing and making Dahlia. So now everybody is able to make Dahlia on their own and it just eliminates Claudia. So what do you think this dumb fool did? She went down to where the doc was and she was pissed off at the doc and she took her piece and boom, just blew the doc away. I was like, well, how smart was that? I mean, I know you think she did it and I know you don't have any use for her, but I don't think that was very smart, Claudia. I don't think that was that smart. I don't think that was smart at all. Claudia is ruled by her emotions. It's so interesting when you think about Claudia as compared to other women in the Power franchise like Rock, Tasha, and even Monet. Those three women are not led by emotions. Those are hardcore, badass women. Don't give a fuck. Oh, Jesus. Raquel and Monet. The worst of the worst. Let me know in the comment section, who do you guys think the worst mother is in a Power franchise? My friend and I were talking about that. Who do you guys think the worst mother is in the franchise? If I had to rank them, if I had to rank the mothers of the Power franchise, and Kate is included as well, uh, for me, I would say number one on. Let's go from between Kate, Tasha, Monet, and Raquel. So number four on my list would be number four on my list would be I guess I would say Kate, right? Kate is a fuck up and she is not the best mother, right? By any means of the stretch, by any stretch of the imagination, right? I would say Kate because Kate does love Tommy. Well, damn, she did abandon JP. Yeah, yeah, it would be Kate. Then I would say Tasha. I would have to say Tasha is next. Now with these two, I don't know. These two are neck and neck. Monet and Raquel, they are tied for the worst mother. They are tied for the worst. Because when you think about Rock, Rock had Kanan try to take out his own daddy. But then when you think about Monet, the way Monet talks to Drew, Diana, and Kane, especially Kane, horrendous, right? Then she took out Lorenzo, but we know why she took Lorenzo out. So damn. I guess. Oh Jesus. I guess the bottom of it. I guess it's gonna go Kate, Tasha, Rock, and Monet. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on that one, right? So after Claudia took out the doc, Victor, she told Victor, and Victor was pissed off at her, right? Because we're supposed to be partners, but you're doing things behind my back. And so Victor said, you know what, Claudia, you on your own, I'm out. Like, I am out. So, moving back over to Papa Walter, remember, I just told you guys, Walter got this debt to pay to the old country, right? Come to find out, he's losing money, so he ain't got the money to pay them. I was like, ooh, what that mean for you, Walter? I mean, you know something that I noticed in this episode? Because remember, all last season, Walter was coughing up blood and he was sick. But I mean, this is just episode one, so we ain't really got that far because, um, but yeah, we ain't got that far. But remember, Walter was sick all last season. I want to think I'm talking about that this season. But let's pause here and wrap up the episode, you guys. All right, you guys. So Tommy, this episode opened with Tommy. So Tommy is still, thinking about what happened in the finale of last season when Liliana got, unlived. So he is hearing Liliana's voice in his head, and he's saying that he's gonna make whoever did this to Liliana pay. So we see him as he went to someone's apartment asking where were the Flynns at, right? So the guy told him that Walter would be at, Claudia's apartment tomorrow at 2 p.m. by himself, right? So Tommy, he cut the man's face, kind of like Liliana's, and then he just stuck the knife right in the man's mouth. I was like, oh, wow. So we move over to Kate. We see Kate as she's playing doting grandmother to D-Mac, right? So Tommy and JP are talking, right? So JP is asking Tommy, so do you think we're going to be good? And Tommy's like, for now, we good, right? But he says that, he's going to take out whoever, unlived Liliana. So then Tommy went in there, they were looking at how great Kate was with D-Mac. And Tommy's like, I wish she was that good when I was his age, right? So Tommy went in there where she was and tried to give her, a baggie, right? She's like, no, Tommy, I'm clean. I said, say, what now, Kate? You clean. Kate, clean. Girl, lie, I don't care who tell it. So we see Tommy. So Tommy went to go meet Diamond at a warehouse, right, where they're talking to the crew. Now, you guys remember that CBI split up, right? So Diamond got his crew, Jannard got his crew, right? So Diamond is telling his crew, like, we ain't fucking with Jannard, and I'm not fucking with him, so y'all shouldn't fuck with him either, right? And he's telling them, like, where they need to stay at. So one of his dudes by the name of, what is his name? I forgot what the dude's name is. I'll bring it up later. But one of his guys is like, but we make all our money on Chatham, so what are we supposed to do? They said, stay the fuck away from there. So Tom, and he noticed Tommy, he's like, why this white boy over here looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost? He said, I ain't a ghost, but I can be friendly if you want me to be, right? So they give them their drugs, right? So they give them they were paying 34 for it with Jannard, but they'll give it to him for 31, right? So everybody took what they got, right? Except for even that is one dude, he's a little iffy, and he's like, why you taking orders from this white boy? Slavery is over. And he's like, that's my partner, Diamond, it is, right? So the dude took the drugs, right? Now, on the flip side, we got Jannard. So Jannard is talking to his boys, right? And his conversation with his boys is a lot different than Diamond's, right? Because Jannard is just going off on these dudes. And I'm like, so y'all finna sit here, y'all must be some really broke corner boys, because the way he's talking to y'all, it's like y'all ain't ish, right? So then one of his dudes came up to him, like, why were you so hard on them? He said, because we low on boys, we low on product, and we low on blocks. So they need to lean in on these niggas. I was like, leaning in on these niggas? That's how you gonna get, okay. But he has an idea that may prove beneficial to them. I was like, what is this idea? See, the thing with Jannard was Jannard made so many deals last season, and I'm surprised that he's even still alive because of all the bad deals he made. Remember, he made a deal with Merkovich. He was working with, at one point, the Flynns. Like, I just don't know how Jannard is still able to walk and breathe. He's a fuck up. So we see Tommy and Diamond as they left the meeting, right? So Tommy is talking about the fact that he wants to find the Flynns and basically make them pay for what happened to Liliana. And Diamond is like, Tommy, I don't think that that's smart. And Tommy's like, Diamond, why don't you go worry about your probation officer, right? So we find out that the guy that Diamond had on the payroll last season has gotten fired. So Diamond has a new PO, and he don't know if this PO is going to be able to, fall in line like that one was, right? He also finds out that from Adrian, the girl that he was sleeping with last season, that she's broken up with him. She said she can't deal with this lifestyle, so it's over between them. And, Diamond also told Tommy about the re-up. So Tommy was like, I want to go. And he was like, he doesn't know you, Tommy. And Tommy's like, that's even better. I get to meet him. I was like, Tommy, I don't know if that's smart, but hey, it's Tommy, right? So the next thing is we see Diamond. So Diamond is meeting up with the probation officer, right? So Diamond asked him what happened to the previous one. He said he got fired because he was on CBI's payroll. And Diamond pretended like he knew nothing about it. He says, well, you know now. So the man told Diamond, I run a tight ship. I see with your last one, you was late quite a few times. He says, well, I do run a barbershop. He's like, there ain't no excuse for that. I was like, well, sir, excuse you. If you want, and he wants Diamond to find a job. He random drug tests, all this kind of stuff. I was like, ooh, Diamond. Yeah, bro, I don't think we're going to be able to pay this man off. I think this is and the only way Diamond, and I think I can see the writings on the wall. The only way Diamond can get this man on his payroll is if he finds some dirt, if he finds something, and I feel like this probably was gonna happen, that Diamond's gonna stumble onto something that he probably shouldn't find out about this man, and he's gonna use that to his advantage to get this man on his side, right? So yeah. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Tommy. So Tommy, remember, I told you guys that the men that he took out earlier in the episode, he told him that Walter would be at Claudia's the next day at 2 p.m. by himself, right? So Tommy pulled up to Claudia's apartment, ready to just pop Walter, right? Unfortunately, Walter wasn't by himself. He has a lot of bodies around him. So Tommy was like, fuck. So, the guy's name that was giving Tommy the blues at the meetup with Diamond, his name is Chewy. So Tommy is talking to JP, and he was like, it's not gonna be that easy to get to Flynn because Flynn is bodied up. And so JP was like, well, I can help you, Tommy. He's like, you are helping me. Y'all know, ever since last season, since JP really found out about Tommy, he's been wanting to help Tommy out. JP, your son just got shot. Why do you want to help your brother? A man that you just met. But okay, sir. Okay, that's fine. So this is where I was talking about earlier, where Tommy took JP to a bar that he bought for him, and this is when the feds were outside getting his fingerprints, right? So we see Jannard. So Jannard went and pulled up on Chewy, right? And Jannard told him, like, you can make more money with me if you come over here and work for me and say fuck my brother. Like, I give you 500 less a brick than what you paying Diamond, and I give you an extra 10% on what you sell. So, like a pancake, this nigga just flipped. Like, I was like, so that's all it took was just to say, oh, I'm gonna give you. I would have told him, show me, because I felt like, I don't think that, again, we're going back to what Jannard said earlier. They low on product, they low on bodies, and they low on blocks. So how he gonna give you something? He ain't gotten. How can he give you something when he has nothing? I was just confused by that situation. But Chewy flipped, right? So we see Jannard. So Jannard went to go see the Connect Miguel, right? And when he got there, they were torturing this one dude. And I was like, oh my God, you see them with a cigar, and they were just, oh my God, they were just putting it in the man's body. I was like, Jesus. Then somebody had I think that was it was a wrench. Somebody had a wrench, and they just popped him across the face. I was like, well, sir, I think you're gone, because that is blunt force trauma to the head. So, I don't know why Jannard fixed his mouth to tell Miguel that he would be low on the re-up this week, and he'll give it to him next week. He says, no. What you're going to do is you're going to give it to me this Friday, or else you're going to end up like that motherfucker that was in there, I was like, when you heard that man getting tortured and you saw that man getting tortured, why did you fix it in your mouth to say I'm gonna be late? I was like, you know what? I came here to tell you, I'm gonna have your money for you on Friday. I'm gonna have all your money for you. Give me some time. But a week, no, 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 no. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out a way to come in with your money. We gonna find a way. We gonna make a way out of no way. So after that, Jannard left and got a call from Mirkovich, right? He did not decline the call. So then he saw as he went to go talk to Claudia. So he's telling Claudia that I got an opportunity for you that you can't say no to. Claudia said no to that opportunity, right? Because he wants to be partners with Claudia. Sir, your track record speaks for itself, and it is booty. So we see Tommy and Diamond, right? So they also pulled up to Miguel's spot, right? And so Miguel's people was like, who is this white boy that you got with him? So Miguel came out and told them to come in. And Tommy, he said, so let me guess, you looking for an extension like your brother? Diamond said, no, I ain't looking for no damn extension. So he said, I don't even fuck with Jannard. So he said, so the rumors are true. Diamond said, I don't do rumors, but yes, I don't fuck with my brother anymore, right? So Tommy told Miguel that he wants to get double the product. And Miguel is looking at him like, again, who is this white boy? Hey, you, go to the back. So they took him to the back room and they told him don't touch anything, right? So while Tommy is back there, we are introduced to a new girl. Her name is Mira, I believe that's her name. So they were talking to each other. She was not trying to give Tommy the time of day, right? I was like, girl, I think them panties gonna drop at some point for this white boy, right? So Diamond is out there talking to Miguel and telling Miguel like, that's my partner. We're working together. He's cool people, all kind of stuff like that, right? So Diamond saw as Tommy was talking to Mira, and he was like, stay away from that one. Tommy was like, pussy is the last thing on my mind. I said, you always say that, Tommy. Lakeisha, Holly. Oh, Tommy, please don't. Please don't. Please don't, Tommy. Please don't. Please don't. Because your judgment is so clouded when you are with a woman. Your judgment is always clouded. And I hate that for Tommy, right? So we see Jannard. So Jannard went to a boxing gym and saw this girl named Shanti, right? So Shanti gave him I guess she's running drugs for him, right? And she gave him some money and she told him like she ain't fucking with Diamond and that white boy. And it's so interesting. Y'all don't want to fuck with Tommy and Diamond, but y'all would fuck with Jannard. Why? I don't understand it. What is so like? Why are y'all willing to work with Jannard? It doesn't make any sense to me. It really don't. But hey, it don't. So she's riding with him, right? So we see Diamond and Jannard, not Diamond and Jannard, but Diamond and Tommy talking, right? Tommy don't want to just be getting the money, getting the drugs from Miguel and his people, right? Or even the Serbs. He wants to be the connect. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, because he wants to go straight to the cartel. I was like, I don't know if that's going to work, Tommy, but good luck to you, buddy. So this is where they found out about Dahlia, and Tommy made a phone call to JP, right? So I'm assuming it was Tommy them who put the recipe out for Dahlia. So then we see D-Mac, right? So D-Mac is showing Tommy how the kids are basically moving weight on social media. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting. So Tommy told him he tried to, he was trying to work his way into getting back on the street. Tom said, no, you're going to do it from this house, right? So I'm going to text you some stuff, right? So then we see Tommy and Mira. So Mira was at the bus stop. And so we find out that she's a nurse and she works at the hospital. So the thing is, she wanted a completely different life than what her brother has. Come to find out, he is a diabetic as well. So she doesn't have a car. So she's riding the bus to work. So Tommy offered to take her to work. And she's like, no, thank you. Like, I don't fuck with anybody who fucks with my brother. I was like, well, I think that's probably going to change in a matter of episodes. I do believe that that's going to change. So Thanks to the help of DMAC, looks like business might be booming for Tommy and Diamond, right? So then Mirkovich and his men pulled up on them talking about that stay spot where they're at, right? And Tommy and Diamond, said, no, this is our spot. He's like, well, Jannard gave it to me. Here's what we say about Jannard. Fuck Jannard, right? So speaking of Jannard, after that we see Mirkovich and his men beating the brakes off of Jannard. I mean, they were beating the brakes off of him, telling him they want their spot back. Well, good luck with that one. Only way I think y'all gonna get that back is if y'all take out Tommy and Diamond, and I don't see that happening. But good luck. Good luck. So, Tommy, he got a phone call from JP. He had to rush over to the hospital because that bullet wound that D-Mac guys is infected. So Mira came to the rescue, and then, she was a lot nicer to Tommy. I was like, they're going to do something. But come to find out, she got a little boyfriend in the hospital because they kissed. He slapped her on the butt, and they kissed. I was like, it ain't going to last that long. Even Tommy was looking at it like, nah, it ain't going to last. So at another point, so at the hospital, Tommy got a text message from Diamond to, come meet him at the barbershop, right? So Tommy went down to the barbershop, and he found out that Chewy had flips, right? Speaking of Jannard went to go, Shanti came to see Jannard, and child, I did not need to see that sex scene with Shanti and Jannard at all. Nothing bad against them, but just didn't need to see that sex scene. So we see Tommy. Tommy pulled up on Chewy and basically took the little nigga out. That was, he took that nigga all the way out. But that was the episode, you guys. I don't know how long this review is. I think it might be a little less than 30 minutes. Or it might just be right at 30 minutes. I don't know. But yeah, you guys, we back with season 2 of Power Book 4 Force. Let me know if you guys watched the first episode. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on. Share the video, you guys. Until the next time, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one.